Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Out, issue number 2 of 5 by our Upshot, made by Rob Williams, Will Conrad, and Marco Lesko. We continue where we left off with the last one, and that's, well, here in the prisoner of war camp in 1944, when a vampiric creature is, eating or drinking the blood of his victim. And yeah, great shot. so, and then light flickers. Lights is going on, and then the Germans are yelling, "Beweg dich nicht," and that means don't move. And they are using a light with a cross, and the vampire is gone. And then our main hero, I'm calling it a hero, the main protagonist here, is getting punched out, and he is being taken captive, if you will. And it's our buddy Nocona, the Comanche language expert. Yes. So, but then the other prisoners of war coming out, and they've been asking questions. It seems that the prisoners of war, they are prisoners, but they, are not being, being treated like dogs or something like that. They can, not do whatever they want. They cannot leave because they are here for reasons, but they are not being tortured or, sending back to work in, prison camps and doing unspeakable stuff. No, they are just here to, do whatever. And so this guy is asking questions, but the German says, "You go back in your huts, don't move. There's nothing to see here." And then we go to the commander in question, and he says, "Is it back in its tomb?" And the priest says, "Yes, it worked." Now I'm going to do the English-German thing. He said, "It worked. Your ceremony, the markings, the crosses, the electromagnetic dishes." And the priest says, "It obeyed Commandant Ludin. It followed orders." But the other ones, there's other German soldiers or, commanders and captains as well. And they are a little bit concerned about what's happening. It seems that the vampire is still weak and it needs to feed. But the other one says, but then what? When he's at full strength, is he going to pull the bombers from the sky and smashes them like toys? And he says, we are the ones that's going to serve him, not the other way around. And but the priest says, no, we're going to do it. Don't worry. And then the creature here says something, and then Commander Ludin sweats. Now, I'm not sure if he understands them, but, the Germans are bickering, and then the commander says, "Bring up the prisoner. We feed it." So that means Nocona is going to be the next victim. Skipping, the introduction page, if you will. So, it's freezing cold outside, and then this prisoner of war is just, saying crazy stuff, and he is maybe reciting some passages from the Bible. I'm not entirely sure. But then we also see these guys trying to tunneling the way out, and they have these tubes that go from the bottom to, here. And then, so this guy, "That's enough, Tom Pins. You're going to go dig." And then he says, "It's crazy. I cannot breathe. I cannot see. Where's Dils?" Dils was saying he had support structures design, but it seems that Dils is missing, and he's not here, and so we have to do with what we have, and then the tunnel. It's what I once said. The tunnel breaks. No, that's not. That's how it is. It collapses. Yes, and we see the people are panicking here, and I believe he's dead. I coming a little bit back to this whole scene. I never go into tunnels. I'm a little bit of a claustrophobic person. This must be a nightmare for those who did this in real life. And when stuff collapses, and they cannot get out, and they are probably, suffocating or being crushed by the weight of the dirt and the stones. Must be horrible in those times. I cannot imagine, and hopefully we never gonna experience stuff like this again, IRL. Anyway, so the soldier is climbing out, but then he says, "Bronson, on your feet." Flight Lieutenant McCallum, says Bronson. Tompkins and I just nearly died. The tunnel collapsed on us. You broke out of Stalag Luft free successfully, I'm told. Now, Tompkins is this guy. So basically, did he survive? Because he says, just nearly died, so I presume he's still alive. But the flight lieutenant says, you tunneled out. We need men with tunneling expertise, and you follow me and John Hera and Powell. And he says, wait, successfully. So Bronson says, we weren't successful, flight lieutenant. Trust me. And he said, you were caught. Nevertheless, Sergeant Dills is missing. He was our tunnel leader. The Hun have him prisoner. I believe the Hun are then the Germans, I guess. So you will do your duty. But then Bronson says, nope, that's not going to happen. He says, I flew over Germany 21 times. A lot of people tried to kill me, jumped out of a burning B-17, and he saw all his buddies burned up. He did his duty. He says, what are we going to do when we are free? I mean, they are, sending the hounds after them. And he says, you ever seen hounds kill a man, flight lieutenant? Figure I've done my duty, sir. You want to take issue with that? Well, I believe I will be able to live with your disappointment. War's ending soon. Our army's going to be here in a few months. I'm going to wait for them here. Yeah, okay. We'll see about that if that's going to happen. So we have some ads. Not All Robots. Never heard of it. Also by Mike Deodato Jr. I must say his art, Will Conrad's art, reminds me of the newer art of Mike Deodato Jr. Maybe his apprentice, I'm not entirely sure, but he has some similarities. So they bring forth Nocona, Jesus, and he says, throw him in the pit. And the commander says, I give the order here, priest. And then he says, please, wait. And then the creature speaks. He said, what did it say? It says, free me. He says, free me. I said, you understand it? He says, yes. How? It speaks an ancient language that only the book can. He says, it spoke Czech. It's like Czechoslovakian or the Czech Republic, I believe. And but it's more like an older, heavy accented version of it. But the priest says, enough of it, throw him into the pit. But then commander says, silence. He says, Czech, you speak Czech? You certain? He says, yes. and then he throws the priest into the pit. And he says, you spoke German when you entered the room. You adapted languages? He says, yes, I am. And then Herr Commandant, if you let me explain, the American has misunderstood. And he says, it's not strong enough, it must feed. And, so the priest has met his demise. And he says, now you work for me, Nocona. Yeah, brutal stuff. I like that. I also love the very dark color palette. Red is still a thing here, as it should be. Great stuff. More ads. Max Texera, really? Okay, that's all. I need to check this out. So the commander is invited one of the American prisoners of war, and he has an attire on him, and that's the same guy that asked the questions here in the beginning, than this guy, I believe. And his name is Lieutenant Colonel Hancock. It seems that Lieutenant Hancock has requested an audience with Commander Luden, and they're having a chat with each other, and they drink some wine. So the lieutenant, or is it commander? No, lieutenant. Yes, the lieutenant has some concerns about what's happening, but also that some part of his crew and other prisoners of war has been missing, and they've been taken prisoner, including Sergeant Dills, who is immensely popular in the ranks, a vital cog in my command. So like I said, these guys have some freedom. Also, he states that he has a very fructious relation with the previous commander, and they come to agreement with certain things a lot. So they hope, or he hopes, that this commander is going to do the same. But then he says something stupid. He says, a gesture of generosity from yourself would gain you great advantage in terms of future behavior for my men, I believe. And then the commandant says, generosity, honor, humanity. The German soldier has fought with tenacity and great command, sir. There is no shame in defeat. And then this happens. He shoots him. He throws him into the pit. And then it says, there will be no defeat, sir. End of issue 2. Great stuff. Really great stuff. This is the preview for what comes next month. And we have some ads about, comics that I don't know about. I heard great things about Hotel. Or Hell. So I need to check this out as well. And that brings us to the end of the video. I really like this series so far. It's gritty, it's very dark, it has horror elements, and it has some nice, nasty surprises. So I'm very curious where this series is going. Like I said, I got all 5 of them. I'm going to review them soon. And guys, thank you again for watching, and I see you next time. Bye-bye.